You better not shout, you better not cry. I don't think those are the lyrics, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Hello everybody, what better way to celebrate Christmas than to talk into my phone in my garage. Mr. H, Garage Math. We are gonna do some math today, but it is Christmas, so I just wanted to spend a couple minutes sharing with you some things I got. Santa Claus. I think I have ate more Pez than any human alive. When I was a kid, I think I was addicted to Pez. And maybe this is not good because I'm gonna crack into these guys and eat them today. I probably haven't had Pez in a minute, but I usually not even put them into the little Pez mouth. I just would eat them because you can buy like 10 or 20 packs of just the candy. But I'm gonna go ahead, since I only have 3, I'm gonna put them into Santa Claus and do the so we're gonna work ourselves through these today. So that's fun. I got this, oh gosh, I got this really nice card. Look how cute that little dude is. I'm not even really sure what that is. Is that a hamster? Is that a mole? Is that I don't even know what that is, but it's cute. So this was really cool. And I got this Green Acres gift card. I'm addicted to the acres. I like to dig in the dirt, and Green Acres is the place to be. Okay, Santa Claus also brought me a book, The Count of Monte Cristo. I almost said Crisco. It's from the 1800s. This is actually the 3rd book now that I've read that's from the 1800s. And it's kind of cool because when you read old stuff, people usually think old people are dumb and they didn't really know what they were doing. But it's cool because it's just normal stuff with normal emotions that people have in 2025. So I'm excited to knock this book out. I'm reading 2 other books at the moment. Black Hawk Down, intense. And The Pillars of the Earth. It's about building a cathedral in Europe, 1100s. That sounds interesting. That's what I thought when it was recommended to me, but I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I've never read 3 books at a time. That's too much for my little brain to handle. All right, so I hope everybody out there is doing well. A few more days and then we're in 2026. I also got some Nerds Gummy Clusters, which we're gonna use today for math. All right, let's go. Percent proportions. I need you to listen because it sounds more confusing than it is. There's a formula to this. I'm going to give you some tips. And it's basically when you talk about percents, this is what percent of that, this percent of that number is, there's an of, and our heads want to explode. So your head's not going to explode. So I just need you to take some notes, pay attention. We're going to do some examples. And when it's all over, you're going to go, I got this. And then my next video is going to show you how to solve these without proportions, and you're going to go, why didn't you just show us that the first time? And I'm going to say, I didn't feel like it. And you're going to say, okay, and then you can use whatever method you want. But for this assignment, you have to use proportions, okay? And we've solved proportions. If you don't know how to solve proportions, then all you've got to do is watch a video that shows you how to solve proportions. Okay, for this one, all we're going to do is write proportions. So when you read problems like this, the first thing that's going to happen is your head's going to want to go boom. So I need you just to sort of take a breath, listen, write this down, pause, and after we do like 4 examples, it's going to be fine. Okay, so just think of this in terms of part over whole. I don't know what that means. Well, hold on a second, okay? And then percent over 100. So when you write these proportions, you're always going to put 100 on the bottom because all percents go over 100. So I think we'll just do a couple problems, and then as we start to do them, you're going to start your light bulb's going to flicker, and then it's going to go boink, because you know the 3 steps of understanding a problem. Sometimes you do a problem, the first problem is and then you do a second problem and it's then you do the third problem and it's That's going to happen. All right, write a proportion. Okay, what percent of 15 is 12? Anytime they want to know what a percent is, it goes right here, okay? And since we don't know what it is, remember, 100 is always at the bottom. So anytime they want a percent, put it above 100, okay? That's it. So the question now is going to be, what's the part and what's the whole? And here's the trick. This is the $1 million trick. Pay attention. Anytime they say of, write this down. Anytime it says of, it's always the whole. That's it. Of is always the whole. Okay, so that's going to go on the bottom. And most likely when they say is, most likely it's always going to be the part. Okay, So when you think about part over whole, the whole is like the whole thing, right? If you thought of a word problem is, what percent of 15 is 12? You took 15 shots and you made 12. 15 is the whole, 12 is the part. It's not always less though, because sometimes it could be more, because you have more than 100%. That's it, okay? And that's all we're doing for these. You're just writing their proportion. So when you read these, you just gotta pick stuff out. If it says what percent, it's always gonna be here. Of is always the whole. Just of is the whole, of is the whole. You're gonna see that over and over and over and over. Okay, what number is 36% of 50? Okay, so it's gonna be a proportion. Always just start like this. Just start like that, okay? Like that. Part, whole, they gotta give you 3. And then you will solve for 1. Okay, they're always gonna give you this one. So they're gonna, okay, so of 50, oh, of. He said anytime it's of, it's the whole, okay? So you go 50, okay? Anytime they give you a percent, what number? Anytime they give you a percent, you just put it above the 100, because that's only the place where percent could go. Don't put 0.36, because 36 over 100 is 0.36, but you got to put 36, okay? And then like what? What goes here? Just X, okay? So we're trying to solve for the part. Well, how'd you know we were trying to solve for the part? It was the only thing left, okay? Of is the whole, percent always goes over 100. Okay, hold on, Mr. H, that might be the, let's see if we can get the, we're gonna have 4 problems, so maybe we'll have 2. Okay, all right, okay. So we're always gonna set it up like this before we do anything. Just always set it up that way. Oh, they give you a percent. If they give you a percent, you put it here. Okay, done. That's it. Now we have to know is that they have to give you the part, they have to give you the whole. If they give you the of, it goes on the bottom, okay? Of is, remember what I said is usually the part, is 36, that's the part, and this is the whole, okay? Of what number? Of, we don't know, okay? So it's, again, that's how you solve these. You just have to kind of use some patterns. Some of your brains can just read the problem and know what the part is and know what the whole is, but look for those keywords and you can't be led astray, okay? Now, some of you are like, well, this is great, but don't we have to get an answer? We will. All right, this is like really important. Of, whole, is, part, always over 100. If they give you a percent, it always goes over 100. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Okay, ooh, one more. 12 is what percent of 48? All right, so what I want you guys to do is hit pause and write the proportion. Use your keys and stop. Okay, so they don't give us a percent. They don't give us a percent. We don't know the percent. Remember, the percent's always on the right. Okay, we look for the key words. Child's play. 48 of 12 is on top, okay? I bet you right now you're all going, Okay, so now we have 3 more of these and then a fun, yummy word problem. And we're gonna actually write the proportion and we're gonna solve for the answer because we're gonna use some cross product. Okay, so this is just like what we did. If you can't write the proportions, silly, how are you going to solve these? And when I show you on the next video how to solve these without proportions, you're going to go, proportions, proportions. All right, what do they give us? Oh, they give us 25%. You see a percent, you see a percent. It's got to go here. Always over 100%. Now we have to know they're going to give us the part and they're going to give us the whole. Ooh, we don't know. That's the whole. Is the part. That's the proportion, okay? Now, we can reduce this. We can do sort of like 1/4, and I'm just gonna solve all of these cross product with big numbers. And you know why? Because we have a calculator. Ooh, I bought this new Amazon calculator, $7, okay? Not a bad deal. All right, this times this equals this times this. This times this is 25x equals this times this. This is kind of messy. I wish I would have left more room, or at least a different color. Okay, this times this is this times this. 25x equals 700. We are doing what's called algebra. divide by 25, divide by 25. Grab your calculator. 700 divided by 25 is 28. The answer, my friend, is not blowing in the wind, although the wind did blow last night. Holy cow. Woo! I got a lot of leaves to pick up with my pole. I should have got the leaves last week. That's okay. 28. Now that kind of makes sense because 25 over 100 is 1/4. 7 over 28 is 1/4. We're good and we're off. We're going to do 2 more of these. Okay. I'm going to write this over here a little bit. Okay. I haven't done anything other than set it up the way we always set it up. Okay. Now they have to give us 2 things. Part, whole, percent. Let's go. What percent? Ooh, they didn't give us the percent. So we got to go like this. Of is. Sometimes they vary it, right? Because sometimes the first word will be here, then here. You can't go by that. You got to go by of and is. Of is the whole. Is the part. Okay? Super cool. This times this equals this times this. This times this. I like always do the x side first. 25x equals 12 times 100. 25x equals 1200. Divide by 25, divide by 25. 1200 divided by 25 is 48. Ooh, here's the one trick you have to do though. And yours is going to be prettier than mine because I have to write big so you can see and I don't have a lot of room. If they ask for a percent, you have to put a percent. Because my calculator said 48, okay? It's not 0.48. Remember, we're not doing 0.48 because we're over 100. 48%, 48%. So that basically means if you make 12 out of 25 free throws, that's a little less than 50%. 48%, that makes sense. We smell it. It smells correct, all right? I'm excited about my Christmas dinner today. We went down to Fulton Avenue and we got one of the honey baked hams. We've never done that before. We spent a couple bucks to do it. We've had ham recently and I've kind of been just sort of like, about the store-bought ham. So we decided to go up a little bit in price and see if the quality is going to be a little better. So I'm excited about that. I think turkey's kind of a tasteless meat. I'm more of a ham person. I know some of you out there do prime rib and all of that. I've never really gotten that whole thing going. I wish I did though. Grandma's coming over. We're gonna have some shrimp, veggie trays, pies. We watched It's a Wonderful Life. Started it last night, finished it today. Opened up all the gifts. It's Christmas tradition on my house to have all the gifts opened up, and then there's a mountain of wrappers and cardboard that the boys take all their toys and gadgets and socks and sweatshirts and they go upstairs, and I get rid of the mountain of stuff, which, did you hear that thunder? And the thunder rolls. Okay, here we go. But it's all good. It's all good. 3 football games and 5 basketball games today. That's awesome. Warriors are playing 2 o'clock against Cooper Flag and the Mavericks Funky Bunch. All right, let's solve it. Let's solve it. Hit pause and you go. And pause. Okay, they gave us a percent. That's what I was talking about. The part's not always less. I know we think of part as a fraction smaller than the whole, but sometimes it's more because if it's over 100%. Do we have the part? Do we have the whole? Do we have the part? Do we have the whole? Of 80 is the whole, and x is the part. Okay? Let's go. 100x equals 80 times 130. 80 times 130. I could do distributive math and add zeros, but I'm not going to. 80 times 130. I know we could reduce it. It's 10,400. That's such a big number. So what? You have a calculator. Now this I'm going to do in my head. Zip, 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 zip. 104, 104. It's 104. Okay? That makes sense because 130 is slightly bigger than 100. 104 is kind of slightly bigger than 80. If you took 104 and divided by 80 and you took 130 and divided by 100, you'd get the exact same thing, okay? Because they're equal. So it has to be bigger. That's the thing, when you set these up and if this number was smaller, you know it's wrong because it has to be bigger because that number is bigger. All right, let's do the last problem, okay? Let's say you are given a bag of Nerds gummy clusters. In this bag is actually 3 servings and 16 pieces. So this is a legitimate problem. Woo, the rain's coming. It was just sunny and blue sky like 10 minutes ago. I think Nerds gummy clusters are the greatest invention ever. A little crunch, a little chewy. So good. So good. When I was a kid, Nerds were invented. And man, I don't really see the boxes anymore. I think it's all clusters nowadays. You have a bag, and there's 48 in here. Okay, that's the whole, because that's all there is. And you eat 75% before you go, ooh, I should share. How many do you have left to share? Okay, so now you got to kind of think of the oven it is, or just use your brain. And this one, what's the part, what's the whole? I'm not saying I'm going to share the other 25%, because here's the thing, sharing is caring, but I realized at a young age, the issue with sharing is if I share, that means there's less for me. Okay. How are we going to start? Just start like all of them. I'm not smart enough to like jump around. I got to kind of just go whatever. Okay, you eat 75%. Well, okay. They gave us the percent. What's the part? What's the whole? Let's just use our brain. The whole, it's got to be 48, as I have clusters in my throat. Before you decide to share, how many do you have left? Left is like the part, right? Like how many do you have left? Okay. Was that even right? Hold on, I think I did that wrong. A bag of Nerds. You eat 75% before. Oh, this is how many you eat. This is going to be how many you eat. Okay? All right, I'm not sure if that's right, but let's just go through this. I might have hit pause, but I have gone way too far, and there's no going back. All right, 48. Let's go. 48 times 75 is 3,600. 100x equals 3,600. Divide by 100. Divide by 100. Zing, zing. 36. Okay? That's right. Although 36 is not how many you have left. 36 is actually how many you ate. That was tricky. I think what I should have done here is put 25. Okay, because if I would have put 25, that's how many I had left, because 75% is what I ate. So I just had to kind of use my brain. So X is 36, but that's not the answer to the question. How many do you have left to share? 48 minus 36 is 12 Nerd gummy clusters. Okay. That problem was kind of a cluster, but I think you understand it. So there are going to be some word problems in this world that you're going to have to kind of like use your brain. And that was one of them. I hope I got it right. If I got it wrong, sue me. This video is for free. All right, that's all I have. I'm going to do another video within the next couple days. I'll probably knock out a few more. I think I'm going to go outside and start singing in the rain. Okay, peace.